Good morning, my dear students. In today's class, we will be discussing about the two important concepts which are most essentially needed for each and everyone in order to complete the task successfully. So here, the two important concepts which I am going to deal with today in today's class are communication and coordination. So, what is communication here? What do you mean by communication? According to the student's point of view, what is the definition of communication? Any answer from your end? It is a common word which we normally use, isn't it? Communication. What this communication is meant for? See, communication is nothing but it is a continuous process which majorly helps us to exchange the information from one person to the other person. We are going to exchange the information from one person to other person, and this communication is one of the fundamental activity in each and every human being as well as in all the organizations. It is a process of creating and sharing the ideas, informations, views, facts and feelings. So where we are going to create and share the ideas, information, views, facts and feelings among the people to reach a common understanding. Communication is the one which helps us, a proper communication is the one which helps us to provide an understanding between each and every employee who is working in a specific organization. For example, if I take an example of a teacher and a student, let us take an example of a teacher and a student. So since you are a student and I am the teacher, I am taking the example of both. So a teacher may be highly qualified and skilled. A teacher may be highly qualified and skilled, but if he doesn't have a proper communication skills, then it is useless. If he doesn't have a proper communication skills, then whatever the ability that he is having, that particular ability comes under irrelevant ability. Why? Because he doesn't have a proper communication skills. Why the teacher requires a proper communication skills? See, if the teacher is having a proper communication skills, then only he can deliver his lecture on a particular subject in a proper manner and make the students knowledgeable. If the teacher doesn't have a proper communication skills in order to deliver the lecture to the students, then whatever the qualification may be of a particular teacher, whatever the ability may be of the teacher, if he doesn't have a proper communication, if he or she doesn't have a proper communication skills, then it's very difficult for us to make the students to understand the subject which we are teaching for them. So if the teacher is having a proper communication skills, then he can direct the students representing the concepts in a proper manner and make them knowledgeable and understand the concepts in a proper way. So this is why we call communication is one of the important asset of each and every human being. Each and every person must have a proper communication skills in order to understand and in order to revert back towards the message which is going to pass in and around the employees who is working in the organization. Every people, irrespective whether they are working in the organization or whether they are working in any other companies or any other industries or any other enterprises, each and every person, starting from the top level manager to the low level manager, each and every person must have a capability of this communication skills. These communication skills will help us to exchange the ideas and views in order to develop some new products in upcoming days. If I have some idea about a particular concept or about a particular product which is not existing into the market, then if I share that particular idea in front of my employees who are working with me as well as the manager who is working with me, then we can convert that particular idea into the product. If I don't exchange the information or ideas which I am having inside me in front of others, thinking that what they may think, If I say this, they may laugh at me. Or if I say this, they are like hesitation, which we normally do when someone asks for something. Like if I ask some question to you people, you will be hesitating to answer. Why? Because others may laugh. This hesitation will lead to unsuccess. We must not have any sort of hesitation. Instead, we must be ready to answer the question which the teacher is going to answer, which the teacher is going to ask you. If you answer, then only you can come to know whether the thinking which you have on a particular concept is correct or wrong. If you exchange the information which you have inside you based upon the concept, whatever the teacher asks, if you have some information inside you, throw that particular information outside so that the teacher or other students can understand what you are trying to tell. And if it is correct, fine. If it is wrong, then you can be corrected by the teacher. So that is why the communication between the teacher and the student is most essentially needed. If you don't exchange your information about the knowledge which you have inside you, then it's useless. Whatever the interest, whatever the message, whatever the ideas that a particular person is having, he must exchange that particular information with others. This is one way of communication in order to build up some new products. But another way of communication is communicating among each and every subordinates. Each and every subordinates on the work which has been allotted will lead to achieve the goals of the organization. If I don't have a proper communication between me and my employee or my colleague who is working with me, if there is no proper coordination with them, proper communication with them, then it's very difficult for us to achieve the task which has been assigned to us. Why? Because sometimes I may face a problem while writing some code on a particular product. Sometimes he may face some problem while writing a code on that particular product. While working, if eagerness comes into the picture, and instead if we don't communicate each other, then the product cannot be delivered in time, and the product which you are developing may not be more effective. So whenever the work culture comes into the picture in any organization, you must not take it as personal about whatever you people are. Even though he is an enemy, or even though he or she is an enemy of you, we must communicate with them when it comes to the work point of view, and we have to complete that particular work successfully. If I want to complete that work successfully, then communication between each and every employee of that particular organization is most essentially needed. Without a proper communication, it's very difficult for us to achieve a particular goal. So this is what a general brief idea about what is communication. Now when it comes to the communication point of view, here there are three important elements. Like it involves with three important elements, and it is a continuous process. Communication is a continuous process which involves with three important elements, where the first element here is sender, second element here is message, and the third element is receiver. What is the process of sender? See, sender is the one who is going to pass an information from one place to the other place. Communication, like the first element of communication is sender. When it comes to the sender point of view, sender is the one who is going to send a message to the receiver. He is the one who is going to type a message, or he is the one who is going to call to a particular person, and he is going to exchange the information. Once he types the message and once he sends, the second process which is going to perform is decoding operation. Like best example here is mobile. What we do, I want to send a message to my students. So I will type a message and I will press a button called as send. That is the process which is carried out by the sender. Once he sends the message, before reaching the receiver, the message will get encoded. Encoding process takes place. What this encoding process is? Encoding is a process which helps you to avoid the data loss which has been sent by you. Encoding operation takes place and once it reaches to the receiver another mobile, then it gets decoded and it will help the receiver to read the message which has been sent by the sender. Once the receiver receives the message, the decoded packet message, that particular message will be read by the receiver and he will be sending the feedback back to the sender saying that I got a message from you and this particular message is appropriate, or okay, I got your information. So he will be sending the feedback back to the receiver. So communication deals with three important information. One is sender. He is the one who is going to send a message. Once he sends the message, encoding process takes place. Why the encoding process takes place? Encoding is a process which helps you to avoid the data loss of packets which comes under the text. Once the encoding process is done, it reaches the receiver. Before reaching the receiver, whatever the data that has been encoded, it will get decoded. Decoded in the sense the lock will be released. Once the lock is released, automatically the receiver can view that particular message and he can send the information back to the sender saying that I have got a message, or I have got your idea and I will work on it. Then they will be sending some message back to the sender. So this is the process which is carried out in terms of communication. And here the most importantly, the communication is one which is more important in terms of performing different activities. One is coordination. Coordination among the employees is must and should in order to have a proper communication. If I want to have a proper communication, then we have to coordinate among ourselves and we have to work on a particular task which has been assigned by the company. So the basic of coordination here is the manager will be explaining the employees the organization goals, modes and their achievements, and also this type of things will provides the coordination between the employees and also other departments, and this communication will be acting as the basic for coordination in the organization. Communication is the basic requirement of coordination. Okay, next is fluent working. So fluency of work indicates working in a proper direction. If I want to work in a proper direction, then communication is must and should among each and every employee in the organization. That is the second important thing. And the third one is decision making. Decision is carried out by the manager of the organization. How he has to take the decision? By communicating among his subordinates. Saying that this is what the process which we are carrying out and this is what the decision which I am thinking about. What is your suggestion? So like if the manager asks for some suggestions from the subordinates who are working under him, then some sort of issues which has been raised while working, that can be easily sorted out by having a proper communication among the subordinates and the employees. Okay, so the next one is managerial efficiency. The efficiency of work culture of a particular organization can be improved if there is a proper communication link, and this communication is essential for quick and effective performance of the manager and the entire organization. Whereas the last point here is increased cooperation and organization peace. Here there are two ways of communication process, as I said you, which promotes cooperation and mutual understanding among the works. See each and every communication process which we are going to carry out may tends to achieve the success of the organization, where this particular type of communication, two-way communication, is one which helps us to achieve that particular factor and efficient operations which we are going to carry out in the organization. So this is what about the importance of communication process. Here there are two types of communication. One is formal communication and the other one is informal communication. What is formal communication here? Formal communication is one which flows through official channel designed in the organization chart. It flows through official channel designed in the organization chart, and this formal communication may take place between the supervisor and the subordinates. Between the supervisor and subordinates. The subordinate and the supervisor or among the same cadre may communicate and take a specific decision on a particular work in the organization. And this can be oral or it will be in written. But when it comes to the formal communication process, it must be recorded. Whatever the thing that we are going to speak in formal communication process, based upon the work of the organization, everything must be recorded in the organization, whether it may be a oral communication or whether it may be a written communication or whether it may be a presentation based communication. So each and every communication must be recorded and filed in the organization. So here, this formal communication is broadly divided into two types. One is vertical communication and the other one is horizontal communication. What this vertical communication is? As the name itself suggests that the process of communication takes place vertically from top to bottom or bottom to top. From top to bottom or bottom to top. This top to bottom is considered as upward communication. Top to bottom is considered as upward communication, whereas bottom to top is considered as downward communication. What is the difference between upward and downward? If the communication takes place, upward in terms of upward communication, if the flow of communication takes place from the subordinates to the supervisor, from the subordinates to the supervisor, then it is called as upward communication. If the flow of communication takes place from the supervisor to the subordinates, then it is called as downward communication. Upward communication is nothing but if the flow of communication takes place between the supervisor, from the subordinates. If the flow of communication takes place from the subordinates to the supervisor, then it is called as upward communication. If the flow of communication takes place from the supervisor to the subordinates, then it is called as downward communication. This is what about the vertical communication process. Formal communication is broadly divided into two types. One is vertical communication and the other one is horizontal communication. Vertical communication deals with the flow of execution or the flow of communication which takes place vertically from top to bottom or bottom to top. If it takes place from top to bottom, then it is called as downward communication. If it takes place from bottom to top, then it is called as upward communication. Top to bottom is considered as upward, bottom to top is considered as downward communication. The next one here is horizontal communication. Horizontal communication is also called as lateral communication. What this lateral communication speaks about? Lateral communication is nothing but the process of communication which takes place between my team and other team. Between my team and the other team is called as horizontal communication. Let us say from one department to the other department. If the flow of communication which takes place between computer science and mechanical, the flow of execution which takes place between computer science and electrical, the flow of communication takes place between computer science and other departments is considered as horizontal communication, or we can also say it as lateral communication process. For best example here is the product team, the production development team will be having a communication with the finance team for providing the raw materials. If the production team is communicating with the finance team, then it is considered as horizontal or lateral communication process. So this is what about the communication is. Okay, and this is one of the important communication process. And whereas the last one here is informal communication. Any communication which takes place without following the formal channel of communication, without following the formal communication channel, then it is considered as informal communication. This informal communication doesn't require any kind of recording in the file of the organization, doesn't require any kind of filing of meeting in the organization. And this informal communication spreads rapidly, oftenly gets destroyed, and it is very difficult to detect the source of such communication. So it also leads to rumors which are not true. People's behavior is often affected by the rumors and informal decision, which sometimes may hamper the work environment. So he says that informal communication is most dangerous rather than formal communication. Why? Because formal communication is having a formal communication is the one which is having a record of meeting whatever that has been discussed in that, whereas informal communication may lead to a lot of issues in future which can affect the environment of the organization. So most of the organization will be dealing with formal communication rather than, they will not be using more often with informal communication process. And this informal communication can be used in the organization for their personal issues but not for working cultures. So this is what about the communication and importance of communication speaks and types of communication here is. What is communication? Exchanging of information from one person to the other person, whether it may be in terms of ideas or whether it may be in terms of facts, whatever it may be. Whereas this communication process is a one which deals with two important types. One is formal communication and the other one is informal communication. What is formal communication? Formal communication is a one which will be recorded, whereas informal communication which will not be recorded. Formal communication is broadly divided into two types. One is vertical communication and the other one is horizontal communication. What is vertical communication? Vertical communication is a process which takes place from top to bottom or bottom to top. If it takes place from top to bottom, then it is called as vertical then it is called as upward communication. If it takes place from bottom to top, then it is called as downward communication process. So this is what about the communication and its types. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Sir? Hello? ಯಾರು ಬೇಡ ಸರ್, ಲಿಂಗರಾಜು, ನಾನು, ಶಿವಕೇಶಿ ಸರ್. ಆಯ್ತಾನೆ ಸರ್, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಸರ್, ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಸರ್ ಅವಾಗ. ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್. ಅವನೇನೋ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ನಿತೀಶ್
ಇದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್